Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to viewers of Saturday Fight Night. Please welcome into the ring from Hatfield, Billy Joe Saunders.
Popular fighter Billy Joe Saunders lives on a traveller's site in Hatfield, proud of his Romany gypsy background and looking to move up towards title contention this year. At his best, he's got a lovely style.
Yeah, tremendous style. But when all the Olympic boys were turning pro, I reckon he was going to be the most exciting of the bunch, and he was shaping up like that. It's a pity at the back of your mind, trouble with the hands. I hope they've found the cause of the trouble, and I hope that they've repaired it, because you need to have confidence in your hands. If you don't have that, then you will never perform properly. So that's what we need tonight, a tough opponent who can pose him some problems, maybe take a few solid punches on the forehead and give him the confidence that his hand trouble is behind him.
Only 2 fights last year and itching to impress tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the York Hall, Bethnal Green in the East End of London for the chief supporting contest of the evening. Frank Warren, in association with FrankWarren.tv, proudly presents 8 rounds each of 3 minutes duration in the middleweight division, live and exclusive on Saturday Fight Night, right here on Sky Sports HD. Your officials were appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control, and your British Boxing Board of Control steward in charge is Mr. Phil Lundgren. Your Southern Area representative is Mr. Mick Collier, and when the action begins, your scoring referee in charge is Ken Curtis of Hayes in Middlesex. Your timekeeper at the bell is Bob Edgeworth. And now to introduce the contestants. Firstly, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the blue and white shorts, weighing in 11 stone, 9 pounds, 4 ounces, with a record of 35 wins, 15 losses and 2 draws, with 22 wins coming by knockout. Please welcome, from Koblenz, Germany, Turgay Uzun. And across the ring, in the blue corner, wearing the red shorts, weighing in 11 stone 8, is a man who is an amateur, won gold medals at Commonwealth and European Championships, and represented Great Britain in the Beijing Olympics. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, from Hatfield in England, currently undefeated as a professional with 7 wins and 4 by KO, Billy Joe Saunders. Your referee will now give his final instructions to both boxers.
Okay, lads, I've spoke to both in the dressing room. You know what to expect. Have a good fight.
Well, Billy Joe Saunders could be one of the best young fighters in Britain, but he's struggled with hand injuries and layoffs. So we're interested to see how he gets on here in his first fight of the year against German-based Turk, Turgay Uzun, over 8 rounds at middleweight. Saunders, the former Olympian who turned pro, under much fun fanfare with James DeGale and Frankie Gavin. The southpaw like the other two. He's so relaxed in the shoulders, Billy Joe. Been boxing since he was a kid. Great amateur. Wonderful variety, picks his shots nicely. And Colin, of the 3, he's the one who a lot of people were tipping to go the furthest as a pro, but he's kind of lagged behind the other 2 so far, hasn't he?
Yes, through no fault of his own, of course, because he's had hand trouble, which has meant that he's been inactive for such. I mean, he'll be green with envy that James DeGale is already a British champion, and Gavin is almost there, and he'll be smarting over that, and he'll be wanting to catch up with them fast, because there's great rivalry between them as to who was progressed the fastest. I tell you what, he's catching this German with some pretty good hooks with both hands.
Very sharp here early. Billy Joe, lovely jab.
Uzun is a bit fleshy for me. So I don't know whether how long he'll be able to take those body shots. Wicked right hook to the body that Saunders is catching him with. Already that left side of his torso is red raw.
Uzun, 36 years of age. His best days were back at welterweight. He's fleshy. Probably lacking in a bit of ambition now. Getting caught regularly. Maybe if there was one criticism of Billy Joe early, maybe he's cuffing with his shots a little bit. Maybe he's worried about damaging the hands again that have held his career back. Those are solid body shots.
Maybe that's why he's concentrating on the body. Mind you, one look at Uzun's body and he's made for to whack in the middle there, because, as I say, he is fleshy, which must mean that he could be a bit fitter.
Such a natural fighter, such a natural talent, Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah, as you were saying earlier, his style seemed to be more suited to the pro ranks than the amateur when he turned.
I remember London trainers phoning me up, raving about him when he was still an amateur before anyone had really heard of him. When he was down the East End gym sparring with good pros, and they were struggling to hit him. And let's not forget, he's just 21 years of age, so he does have plenty of time. He's a little bit fleshy himself, Billy Joe. Maybe he'd be better as a light middleweight, maybe he'll grow into a strong middleweight, but that was certainly completely his opening round. Jimmy Tibbs, Mark Tibbs and Dean Powell in the corner.
I know we've only had 3 minutes, but it wouldn't surprise me that Mr. Uzun doesn't make the final bell. I mean, Billy Joe's just not warmed up yet.
Jimmy Tibbs has had some exceptional fighters over the years, and he rates Billy Joe as highly as any of them. Some good work in the first round. Chin down, letting the shots go. I don't think he really even got hit in that first round. Uzun just soaking it up. And Billy Joe dropping his hands. He can get away with that. He's got great reflexes.
Yeah, well, what Billy Joe, sorry, Ed. Not so to say, what Billy Joe really needs is to go 8 rounds. Because that's what he's lacking in a number of rounds as a pro.
That's right, especially with the inactivity. First fight since last December. He does look sharp. They say you can only get your sharpness in actual fights as opposed to sparring, but he doesn't look like he's been away. Maybe Uzun's style is helping that somewhat.
I mean, passive.
I'm glad you said that, Colin, not me, but yes.
I mean, all he's trying to do is survive as long as he can, Uzun.
That's right, and between those body punches, Uzun just dropping his guard and looking a bit sorry for himself already. Uzun has won 35 of 52. But as I say, his best days were a few pounds and a few years ago. And he's barely throwing a shot in this round at all. Billy Joe able to drop his hands, move forward quite square on, without any threat of shots coming back his way.
Uzun knows if he opens up, he's going to get nailed. No, I don't think. I think any desire he might have had coming up the ring steps is long gone.
Yeah, Uzun looking towards his corner, looking towards the referee.
He'll be looking towards the canvas any minute.
And he's got nothing to really hold Billy Joe off with.
It would be interesting if he tried to stop him coming forward, but all he's doing is hiding behind his gloves up in front of his face.
That's right, he really is, maybe it's a cruel thing to say, but a bit of a human punch bag here.
Are you trying to suggest he'd look better hanging from a hook in the gym?
And Billy Joe still stepping it up. He's stepping up a little bit closer now, Billy Joe. He knows he's got nothing to fear coming back at him. And there he goes.
Well, said he wouldn't be long before he saw the canvas, but I don't know how long the referee's going to allow him to continue.
I think Uzun was saved by the bell. Whether he's glad of that or not is something completely different. He was complaining to his corner about his ear when he went down. He's complaining again now.
Maybe he's trying to sound in here to count.
I think he would like to find a way out.
I think he wants to go home.
They're calling the referee over. I think he's complaining that he can't hear maybe perforated eardrum, which would upset his balance. They're not very happy. Referee's calling for the doctor. But when a boxer complains like that to the referee, he doesn't want to be there anymore.
Well, I don't think the doctor can see whether he's got a perforated eardrum sitting in the corner, but he's had enough anyway.
It's over just before the third round was due to start. One-sided. Billy Joe Saunders looked the part, but he really didn't have too much to beat in Turgay Uzun, who was a disappointment. How much of that was Billy Joe making him look bad? How much of that was maybe a less ambitious than we would have liked match? Billy Joe moves to 8 straight wins, and he did what he had to do.
You can't blame Billy Joe, he can only do what's in front of him, and the guy who was in front of him very quickly decided he didn't want to know too much about this evening.
He just seemed to decide to go down there on the canvas. It wasn't really one punch, it was an accumulation, wasn't it?
He knew he was in for a good hiding.
Yeah.
And the longer he stayed in there, the more hurt he was going to be. I mean, he probably has got a hurt round the ear, but we can never, you know, we can't feel it, so we don't know how bad his ear injury is. He is still complaining about his ear.
There'll definitely be tougher tests ahead for Billy Joe Saunders.
Well, we hope so.
But for now, he definitely looks one to watch.
I hope he hears his flight called when he gets back to the airport.
Didn't really prove anything, did it, Colin?
I'm afraid not. Just another notch on the record. But as I say, you can't blame him.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the second round, your referee, Ken Curtis, has stopped the contest. He deemed Turgay Uzun was in no position to continue. The winner in the blue corner from Hatfield, Billy Joe Saunders.